Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to the end of the week, and I know a lot of you are cold. It was a frigid start to the area here at Hampton Roads and even across the eastern portions of the United States. I'm meteorologist Hunter Forst with Moeller. Craig is still on vacation. We had Taylor doing this earlier this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I took over yesterday, and I will be doing it today as well. You can always find me on social media, Facebook, Meteorologist Hunter Forst, Instagram, Hunter Forst, Hunner Forst. We have a lot of exciting things to talk about today. We had the earthquake in California yesterday. That was off the coast, about 50 miles off the coast of California. We still have frigid air across the eastern portions of the United States. But here's the thing. A wonderful pattern change is on the way for eastern portions of the U.S. If you like the warmer temperatures, they're on the way. But it does come at a cost. There will be some rain showers with the warmer temperatures. But you know what? For me, I'd rather have a little bit of rain, maybe not the whole day, but a little bit of rain and warmer temperatures than sunshine and feeling like 10, 20. That might be controversial, but that's just me. But let's get started here about the earthquake that was off the coast of California yesterday. It certainly was a fairly destructive earthquake. And if you're curious, the earthquakes are just the sudden shaking of the ground caused by tectonic plates. There are tectonic plates all over the world that causes these earthquakes, and they occur from released energy from the crust of these plates, and they bring significant damage to structures, can cause landslides and even tsunamis like we almost saw yesterday. Luckily, there was not one. But if you're curious about some info about earthquakes, the largest earthquake in the United States was actually a 9.2. back in Prince William Sound, Alaska in March of 1964. 9.2. That is a strong earthquake. I think the strongest earthquake ever recorded in the world was about a 9.5. So that's pretty close. California does have about 2 to 3 large earthquakes per year, which is 5.5 or greater, magnitude 5.5. And there's 500,000 earthquakes in the world each year. 100,000 can be felt, so most quakes that happen, no one even blinks an eye. You can't even tell they were there, but 100,000 can be felt, and 100,000 of them do cause damage. So here's the quake that happened 55 miles west of Eureka, California. Right there off the coast in the ocean. Saw that earthquake at magnitude 7.0. That's a pretty strong quake. That's why you could see, there was a lot of shaking in some of these videos that we saw. And it also triggered a tsunami warning right here, the tsunami warning, but that luckily was later canceled. That stretched from portions of the Oregon coast, southern Oregon coast, down towards Northern California and even down into San Francisco and including San Francisco Bay. I had a few friends that live out in California and San Francisco, and their alert for the tsunami warning was just like what you get on your phone. If there's like an Amber Alert, you hear the ringing, the beeping really, really loud, and everyone's phone goes off at the same time. That's what they had over there. It was kind of like the Amber Alert, but it was for a tsunami warning, and it did bring actually some damage to the area and again caused the tsunami warning for more than 5 million people. The governor has actually declared a state of emergency, but ABC's Ginger Z has the latest on the earthquake.
This morning, California under a state of emergency as a 7.0 magnitude earthquake rocked Northern California Thursday. The largest quake in 3 decades. Within 2 hours, at least 35 aftershocks rolling through.
And look at the knife stuck in my floor.
Cabinets jolting open, ceilings collapsing, bottles dropping to the floor, pools overflowing.
I feel it. Oh my God.
And roads cracking. This is one of the most seismically active parts of California. The shaking lasting several seconds, with many receiving urgent phone alerts shortly before the quake.
It scared all of us, and then it all started happening. Everything from the shelves fell down, and the lights started going, and people fell down.
Yeah, so you could see that damage that the earthquake caused, the 7.0 earthquake. Here behind me, I have an earthquake magnitude scale ranging from a 2 all the way up to a 9. And remember, the largest earthquake in the United States was the 9.2 set back in the early 1900s in Alaska. And that was greater than a 9. And the largest earthquake ever recorded in the world was about a 9.5. And you can see here, it is really, it's the end of the magnitude scale. Those quakes were even above the 9. So you have a near total destruction if there is an earthquake of this magnitude. And it's about 1 every 10 years, actually, and it's equivalent to 1 trillion pounds of explosives. But yeah, that is some intense shaking. The earthquake yesterday in California was at a 7.0, so still major damage is possible, could bring billions in damage, still have the potential to see loss of life. That's possible as well. And there's about 18 per year. So there are a good amount of quakes at this magnitude every single year. Now, they don't always happen in California or off the coast of California like this one did, but throughout the entire world, you could see about 18 per year. That's equivalent to about 1 billion pounds of explosives. So pretty wild. And again, the scale where it's extreme or where these earthquakes are more dangerous, the scale is about 5.5 and higher is what they consider to be, dangerous earthquakes. So between a 5 and a 6, about 1,500 5.0 earthquakes per year, and about 120 6.0 earthquakes per year, equivalent to million pounds of explosives or 33 million pounds of explosives. Now, do you remember the earthquake back in, I want to say April of this year, the one that hit New Jersey and areas of New York City, Connecticut? Of course, New Jersey felt the shaking. I was able to feel the shaking in Connecticut because I was still back home. And I believe that was only about a 4.2-ish, I believe. So it wasn't, a devastating earthquake, but it was, to me, it was so exciting to feel my first and probably last ever earthquake. But for a 4.0, you do have noticeable shaking. There's about 10,000 of these per year, and it's equivalent to about 33,000 pounds of explosives. Now, once you get to about 2 and a 3, it's much harder to feel the shaking of the earth. Now, the 4.2 that happened in New Jersey, actually a lot more people were able to feel it throughout the Northeast and the eastern portions of the U.S. because I'm not, an expert on this, but I believe it's because the soil on the eastern half of the U.S. is different. I forget exactly how it's made up, but a lot more people are able to feel the shakes of the earthquake when they happen on the eastern half of the U.S. compared to the West Coast. If you have a 4.0 on the West Coast, less people are going to feel it because the shock waves can't make it as far through the soil like they can on the eastern portions of the United States. So just a cool little fun fact there. But once you get down to a 2 and a 3, a 2 usually not felt, about 1 million per year. A 3, usually no damage, sometimes felt, and about 100,000 of those we have per year. Now, I want to get back to the tectonic plates that we have throughout the United States. There's about 17 tectonic plates, I believe. The graphic keeps going back and forth. There we go. Here we go. We have about 17 tectonic plates around the world. We have the Eurasian plate, the Arabian plate, the Indian plate, Philippine plate, the Pacific plate, which is ginormous. But do you see all these numbers here? These are earthquakes that have happened within the last 10 days. And you'll notice that a lot of the quakes that have happened are on the pink lines. So over here by the Arabian plate, the Indian plate, and you'll notice once you get to the Philippine plate and the Pacific plate, what they call the ring of fire, it's because there are always so many earthquakes around this region of the world. Of course, there are some that happen away from the plates. You have little minor plates throughout the world that can cause earthquakes and for other various reasons, but you will most likely see the most devastating quakes along the ring of fire or along any tectonic plate. Now, again, there's about 17 across the world. And when you have a quake, you can also get a tsunami, unfortunately, like we had the tsunami warning yesterday, which luckily was canceled. But remember years back, the earthquake that happened off the coast of Japan and that intense tsunami that they had, that was just absolutely devastating. And it's not just one wave. A lot of people think, even me, myself growing up, kind of just assumed a tsunami is just one big wave that hits and then that's it. But it's actually a series of large waves caused by most likely a landslide or an earthquake. And again, it causes by, you can see, they can be caused by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, underwater landslides, and a meteoroid that strikes the ocean, like possibly when the dinosaurs were extinct, when the meteor hit off the Yucatan Peninsula, or what kind of was the Yucatan Peninsula way back then, most likely caused a very, very significant tsunami. But what actually is a tsunami? If you're curious, here are the tectonic plates down here that we were talking about earlier. You can have an oceanic crust or a continental crust. And now these plates are kind of sliding against each other like this, right? And over years and years and years, you have a lot of pressure that starts to build up against the plates. And eventually, they kind of just crack like this and kind of explode. And you get a shock wave that pulses up and creates that wave, that tsunami, and then eventually pushes toward shore. But it's not just one shock wave. You get multiple and multiple shock waves, which is why you can get a lot more than just one wave. But luckily, there was no tsunami yesterday, and hopefully we won't see one for the foreseeable future. And if we do, hopefully nowhere populated, or hopefully no one gets injured or hurt. But next topic, the cold across the United States. It has been a chilly couple of days. Look at these current temperatures. Atlanta, Georgia is sitting at 26 degrees this morning. That is chilly for people down there. 34 in Norfolk, 19 in Montreal, 16 in Chicago, 33 in Denver, 0 at Pickle Lake. Pickle Lake, Canada. What a name. 48 degrees in San Antonio, 40 degrees in New Orleans, 25 in Salt Lake, 35 degrees over in Billings. Remember it was 26 in Atlanta, Georgia? It's warmer in Anchorage, Alaska. It's 32. It's also 32 around here in Hampton Roads. We're the same temperature as Anchorage, Alaska. And it's about 10 degrees warmer in Juneau, Alaska, the capital. 45 degrees. But over here, it's much different. Negative 26, negative 17 degrees in Churchill. Luckily, we are not there. Then you have Barrow up here in the northern portions of the United States. Now that is a very cold place, the northernmost city in the United States, 3,600 miles away from here in Hampton Roads, 320 miles north of the Arctic Circle. It gets very, very cold. Even their average highs in the summer are in the 40s, and negative wind chills, or negative average highs from December to March. Look at these average highs in June, July, and August. 41, 48, 45 degrees is their average high in August. Well, areas down here, it's 80, 85, and then you get days where it's 100. Phoenix, 115. Their warmest temperature ever recorded was actually only 79. That's it. Their highest ever was 79. Their coldest, negative 56 degrees. Now, that's a chilly day. I know we think it's chilly out there right now with wind chills in the teens and low 20s, but just think, negative 56, that's chilly. Minneapolis right now, feeling like 12 degrees. They are way up from yesterday morning. It was feeling like negative 11 there yesterday. Feels like 27 in Norfolk. Feels like 13 in Bangor. Poor Atlanta, Georgia. They have just been cold this entire morning. Feels like 16. It's been feeling like 16 for a while. They really haven't warmed up, and they're really not going to today. Feels like 15 in St. Louis, 33 in New Orleans. 64 feels like temperatures in Orlando, 59 in Phoenix, 18-degree feels like temperatures in Salt Lake City. And you could really see where this cold front went through yesterday and yesterday evening. Definitely eastern portions of the U.S., New York City, Norfolk, Atlanta, New Orleans, Little Rock. We're 15 to 25 degrees colder than where we were this time yesterday. And these numbers, the 15 to 25 degrees colder temperatures, were up here yesterday because the cold front went through this region yesterday and brought down all of those temperatures for portions of North Dakota, Minneapolis, Omaha, Chicago. But you guys now are 10 to 15 degrees warmer than you were this time yesterday. But you guys are only at what the feels like temperatures in Minneapolis are 12. Still pretty chilly, even though you are 12 degrees warmer than you were this time yesterday. But if you look at the satellite and radar, there's not a whole lot going on in the United States. A few light sprinkles heading towards the panhandle of Texas, maybe even a few a little bit of a wintry mix down there. It is chilly down in Texas. You could actually see the cold front passing down through Florida right now. It's probably not going to get much further south, but when you have a cold front getting that far south, you know it's a strong one. And portions of the panhandle of Florida, it is chilly over there, but even over towards the Pacific Northwest, dry. From California to Denver, to Chicago, a little bit of lake effect snow in portions of Michigan, but overall, pretty dry throughout the whole United States. A few lake effect snow showers in Pennsylvania and New York. It's all because of this high pressure system that filled in right after the cold front went through. High pressure system in place for a good half of the United States. That's helped keeping us dry. You have a lot of sinking air in the middle of your high pressure system, and when you have sinking air, you don't really get a lot of clouds. When you have the low pressure systems, though, like see this over here, you have a lot of rising air. When you have rising air, you get condensation, you get clouds, you get snow, like we have over here. You can get some dangerous weather with some low pressure systems. But yeah, and even high pressure all the way in the Pacific Northwest, which is again why not seeing much going on over there. Low pressure just to the south of Houston, bringing them some showers as well. But overall, it is a dry, not only dry because there's no rain, but there's also no rain because look at the dew points. I mean, you can't really get much rain if the dew points are at 10 or 9 in Green Bay. The dew points are at 11 in Nashville, 8 in Asheville, 13-degree dew points in Norfolk, 16-degree dew points over in Pennsylvania, around Atlanta, the dew points are 12 degrees. And when you got those low dew points, you get the drastic temperature swings, which is kind of what we've been seeing, especially if you just think about a desert. They have low dew points. That's why it's freezing in the morning normally, and then very hot during the afternoon. You have less moisture. There's less energy for the atmosphere to heat up. You just can heat up quickly. Don't forget your chapstick the next couple of days either, because when you have air like this, you keep licking your lips because it feels better. They just dry out so quickly. There's no moisture in the air. And also, if you're talking a lot, like I am, you can get kind of hoarse a little bit easier, which comes with those low dew points. Here's the futurecast heading into this evening. This is for portions of New York, seeing some lake effect snow going on. Look at this just persisting heading into Saturday afternoon. They've already seen enough lake effect snow. They really don't need to see any more. Then we have this whole thing. Look at this, just to the north of Michigan, bringing a lot of snow. It's going to make its way over towards New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Late Saturday going into Sunday morning, going to bring them some extra snow. They've already seen a good amount, lingering into Sunday afternoon. Here's the current snow depth. This is what we already have. Portions of Connecticut, this is new. You guys just saw a good amount of snow the last couple of days. Anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, maybe 3 to 6 in a few areas. Portions of Massachusetts, 6 to 12 inches in a few areas, especially up in the Berkshires. But from Buffalo to Cleveland, just to the east of Cleveland, especially Erie, Pennsylvania, you guys got whacked with lake effect snow last weekend. Seeing up to 2 feet, 3 feet in some areas. Even some areas you can't really tell on here with the colors, but some areas on the Great Lakes saw at least 4 feet, 5 feet, maybe a few areas. And now you're going to see even more. Heading into the next 48 hours, you can see an additional foot, 2 feet in areas of Watertown heading into the weekend. Erie, Buffalo, just to the east of Cleveland. More snow for you guys. Not as much, maybe 6 to 12 inches in a few areas, and then 1 to 3, 3 to 6. Even getting into New York, or southern New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, you guys could see a trace to an inch, maybe an inch and a half, heading into the next 48 hours. But here's the thing, we have a warm-up on the way. So maybe some of that snow will actually start to melt, because the temperatures haven't even been remotely close to melting any of the snow a lot of these people have been seeing the last couple of days. But we have a pattern change. Things are on the way. Thank you, jet stream. That is finally going to change its pattern. It has just been kind of chilling out in a trough on the eastern portion of the United States. And when you're in a trough, it's cold. When you're in a ridge, it's warm. So there was a ridge more over on the west coast, bringing in warmer temperatures. We had a trough on the east coast, which is why it was cold. But as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, look at this ridge building over the eastern portions of the United States. Definitely have a strong jet, that's for sure. And heading into Wednesday, we're definitely going to see a pretty strong cold front making its way into the area. And you know it's behind a cold front, more cold air. So our warmest day is looking like it will be Wednesday from Atlanta to Norfolk, New York, up to Maine. Could see some mid to upper 60s, maybe some low 70s in a few of these areas. Because look at all this southwest wind just bringing up more moisture, more warmer temperatures. But behind that is the ridge. And it's just going to push on over, heading into Thursday. There it goes, swooping down. Temperatures drop in St. Louis, Atlanta, Norfolk, Washington. We'll probably drop about 10, 15, maybe 20 degrees heading from Wednesday into Thursday because of that additional pattern change. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, enjoy it. Even though it's going to be rainy for a lot of it. If you like the warmer temps, you got to enjoy it, even though there's a few showers. Here are the temperature anomalies Saturday, still below average for a lot of us, but Sunday is really when we start to see that pattern change. At least here in Norfolk, we'll be close to 60 on Sunday, and it'll be sunny. So that will be the sunniest, warmest day for a bit. But it'll be warmer after that, but it'll include some rain. But look at these temperature anomalies for a lot of the U.S. The darker colors, or the reds, the yellows, are above average for where we should be for this time of year, and especially portions of the Midwest. You got Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa above average. And you'll notice it shifts heading into Monday. It's because of that ridge we got building, bringing in some warmer temps Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then remember the jet stream as we went through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The ridge was going more over here, and then behind that was the trough. And when you have the trough, you have colder temps. That's exactly what's happening with these temperature anomalies. Minnesota, well below average heading into Tuesday. New Mexico, Texas, fairly average-ish in the green spots. But once we get into Wednesday, those colder temperatures get even colder. From New Orleans up to Tennessee, up into Wisconsin, Minnesota, still above average. From Myrtle Beach towards Hampton Roads, New Jersey, even up towards Maine, well above average heading into Wednesday. Because remember that this is like where the jet stream was, or the end of the ridge. It's like this. So you still have the warmer air getting up into the eastern portions of the U.S., but behind that is the colder temperatures, because the jet stream is just separating warm and cold air masses. And when you have that jet stream continuing to move, the cold air, the warm air follows it, and that's what happens heading into Thursday. Here we are on Monday for the United States. It's a rainy start to the work week from Atlanta, New Orleans, Columbus, Syracuse, Boston. But look, 58 in Richmond, 61 in Knoxville, 80 and sunny down in Orlando on Monday. That's going to be nice. Almost 70 in Dallas. 36 and windy over in Chamberlain, South Dakota. It'll be 38 in Minneapolis, 56 in St. Louis, 51 and sunny in Chicago in the middle of December. Going to be great for them. They'll love it. As we head to Tuesday, even warmer for portions of the eastern U.S. 64 in Knoxville, 65 in Richmond, 82 in Orlando, 65 in Atlanta. You know, right now in Atlanta, from the beginning of this, it was feeling like 16. So now they're going to be at 65 heading into Tuesday. A big change. That's what happens when you get those flip-flops, and the jet stream brings in significant temperature changes. 22 in Minneapolis, 40 in St. Louis on Tuesday, 35 in Chicago. See, we went from the 50s to 35 just in one day, because the jet just moved on over, cold front went through, and dropping temperatures everywhere. Heading into Thursday or Wednesday, a little bit cooler for Richmond, 60 degrees, 52 in New York, 42 in Syracuse. But areas up towards Maine and New Brunswick, Canada, mid-40s. And then down, they'll be warmer than St. Louis at 35. Warmer than areas of Kansas, Atlanta will be 52, 33 in Columbus. So we'll have to enjoy the warmer weather while it lasts, even though it'll bring some rain. But let's get into a closer look at the weather here in Hampton Roads. We had the weather alert day because it was a frigid start for everybody here. We had those wind chills in the teens and lower 20s, and it's going to be the same on Saturday. So the weather alert day is in effect for Saturday morning as well. We also have the gusty winds, not as gusty as what we saw yesterday. And it was very gusty yesterday. I mean, 30, 40, 45 mile per hour gusts. And I was walking downtown yesterday and around Ghent and downtown. It was like dusty because the wind was just picking up dirt, and there's a lot of baseball fields around, and it was just all blowing in the wind. It was wild. But luckily today, not as breezy. So really anytime you go out this afternoon or tomorrow, you got to bundle up. A drastic change from this time last year. Our average temps were close to 70. the first 4 days of December? That must have been nice. Our average highs for the first 4 days here, 47. Womp. Unless you like it, it is nice before the holidays, gets you in the holiday mood. But once the holidays pass, once New Year's passes, and it's just January and February and cold, it's like, what's the point? The last couple of days, 55 yesterday, 48 on Wednesday, mid to low 40s Monday and Tuesday. But again, we'll see a bit of a change heading into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We should be about 56, 57 degrees for the first week of December. December 1st, we're about 58. By the end of the month, 52. But our highs weren't even close to what our average should be by the end of the month. At least it's a beautiful day, though, on our Priority Automotive Cam. Blue skies, barely any clouds. Thank you, high pressure, subsidence. 34 degrees in Norfolk, 34 in Virginia Beach, 33 in Williamsburg, 31 in Newport News. Elizabeth City sitting at 31. Kill Devil Hills, 33. A bit of improvement for Elizabeth City at 9:40 this morning, because earlier it was feeling like 14. Now it's feeling like 21, so it must be feeling fantastic there now. Feeling like 27 in Norfolk, 24 in Virginia Beach, feeling like 21 degrees in Newport News this morning, and it's not really going to get much better as we go throughout the afternoon. We'll stay sunny though. Silver lining, not much going on the satellite. We're clear. Cold front went through, cleared us out. Clouds up towards our north, some lake effect snow, but no snow here, even though it is cold enough. It certainly is. Getting into the afternoon, temperatures probably won't even get out of the 30s. Air temperatures won't. Getting into Friday evening, we'll continue to cool down. Winds out of the northwest, bringing in those colder temps. As we get into Saturday morning, air temperatures will be in the mid to upper 20s to around 30, but it'll still be pretty breezy, not as breezy as yesterday. So it'll feel like the teens in some spots, lower 20s as well. Kind of similar to today, maybe a few degrees better than today. Getting into the afternoon, we'll get into the mid to low 40s. Plenty of sunshine. It's a sunny weekend. It's just cold, especially for the first half. And as we get into Sunday, things look much better. Today, plenty of sunshine, upper 30s, very cold, but sunny. Here are the recent wind gusts, 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts. Melfa, you saw a gust at about 29 recently, 31 mile per hour gusts in Tangier Island, 22 mile per hour gusts in Norfolk, and 21 mile per hour gusts in Manio, 23 in Duck, 33 mile per hour gusts in Matthews, Saluda, 29. You guys are getting pretty breezy up there. But as we go throughout the next couple of hours, heading into the evening, our gusts should start to come down. And getting up Saturday morning, 5 to 10 mile per hour gusts, not terrible. Much better than this morning and yesterday. But here are the wind chills. Friday afternoon, you're heading to lunch, you're getting out early, gotta bundle up. It'll be feeling like the upper 20s, maybe low 30s by later in the afternoon, but even heading into the evening, low to mid 20 feels like temperatures. And that's gonna last heading into Saturday morning as well. 7 o'clock, you're waking up. I might still get an iced coffee, even though it's gonna be feeling like 23 in Chesapeake, 20 in Franklin, 26 in Norfolk. Gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe I'll get a hot one, who knows? It'll feel like 23 in Virginia Beach. And throughout the day, we'll get up to about 44 for Saturday, but it'll feel cooler than that. But look at Sunday, 59, sunny, pushing 60, fantastic. It'll be kind of like a beach day compared to what we're seeing this morning and yesterday and tomorrow. Here's the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook though for the area. See these oranges and dark reds above normal for December 14th to the 20th. Warmer temps are on the way, but even though we have warmer temps, we have higher rain chances. 50% on Monday, a little bit lower on Tuesday. So it'll be about 66 degrees. Rain chances are only at about 30%. It's not gonna be a washout for Tuesday, and it's gonna be warm. Wednesday, 63 degrees. higher chances on Wednesday, probably even higher chances than 60%. Remember that jet stream that was looking pretty strong on Wednesday, and it was just to the west of our area. That's going to bring in a lot of showers as we head into Wednesday, really throughout the entire day. Let's take a look at it. Throughout the weekend, we stay dry. Remember that high pressure in place. Here's Monday afternoon. First round of showers making its way into the area. We clear out by Monday evening. Here's Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, maybe a stray isolated sprinkle, especially for areas in the Outer Banks in eastern North Carolina. You guys have a higher chance to see some showers Tuesday afternoon. But once we get into Wednesday morning, we'll stay fairly dry, but by the afternoon, look at this system, this giant cold front making its way into the area. Big system, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, overnight, clear out for Thursday morning, some isolated showers Thursday morning, but we clear out by the afternoon. And behind this front, colder temps. So ahead of the front, we'll be in the 60s. Behind it, back into the 40s. 40s for Thursday, Friday, and then back into the 50s for the weekend after. So here's the 10-day temperature trend. Mid to upper 60s, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Front comes through, upper 40s. Then we're back. We'll be actually right around average for next weekend and the start of next week. Our average high right now is about 57. Probably be about 56 by the time we get over here, and we'll be right around there. But well above average heading into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But here's the thing, we need the rain. The drought monitor here, we're seeing some extreme drought in portions of the eastern shore, moderate to severe drought. All across Hampton Roads, moderate drought, up towards the northern neck, severe drought. So we do need the rain. We will take it. We certainly need it. And even a good portion of the United States needs the rain, especially areas in the Northeast. They've had some of their driest falls on record. But portions of Montana, Wyoming, North South Dakota, they need some rain too. But for today, chilly, upper 30s in Norfolk, 41 in Virginia Beach, plenty of sunshine. Eastern Shore, cooler, 37 in Melfa, 38 in Sunnybank, 39 in Matthews today, 40 in Hampton, down to eastern North Carolina. You guys are always a few degrees warmer. 43 in Hereford, 39 Kill Devil Hills, 43 in Elizabeth City this afternoon. For tonight, 26. It'll feel like the teens though, but clear. Breezes calm down a bit, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Tomorrow, 45. Weather alert day in the morning, but less breezy. Winds out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then there you have it. The 7-day forecast, 45 degrees tomorrow. Just a beautiful day on Sunday. If you have off, you got to go out and enjoy it. It's going to feel great. Warmer temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But again, those rain chances start to increase. Few scattered lingering showers for Tuesday. Then we drop down into the lower 40s. Well, it was a pleasure doing this today about the California earthquake, the tsunami warning that luckily got that they took away. I'm losing my train of thought. The cold temperatures that are going on, but then the nice warm up that's going to happen as we head towards the start of the work week next week. Again, I'm Meteorologist Hunter Forst. You could find me on Facebook as Meteorologist Hunter Forst, on Instagram, Hunter Forst, HUNNERFORST. We're here for 13 News Now. This is more with Moeller. That's the fantastic weather team here at 13 News Now. Craig, who is the name behind More with Moeller. We have me, Taylor Stephenson, who is doing this earlier this week. Chief Tim Pandagis, and we have Evan Stewart there. A great team we have here at 13 News Now, and we'll continue doing this as often as we can throughout the week. 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. We'll be here with new updates, new topics. Thanks for joining us today.